Hello everybody, and I hope you're having a good day today. We're talking about Tempoross in the first installment of our very new series of How to RuneScape. I was gonna go with Dirty Bob's Dirty Toots, but I didn't think anyone would click on those. So to kick it all off, we gotta figure out how to get here, and the process is actually really simple. So if you're not in Lumbridge, get there, because that's where we're starting. And really, all you gotta do is go straight to the Alcarid gate, pay the toll if you didn't do the quest, and then go up past the tanner, the smither, the bank, and then you see this boat on the right over here. Click it, and you made it. Congratulations. Now we should probably talk about why you're here. The normal drops that you can inspect on the screen now. The most notable being the Spirit Flakes that you can use to purchase the Angler's Outfit recolor, or even recolor your Heron pet. And once you're done with both of those, go ahead and keep them on you too whenever you're fishing, just so you can have a chance to catch 2 fish as well. Outside of the Tempoross minigame, that is. You'll also receive a various amount of fish from the rewards as well, so the rates shown for beginner fishers at level 35, and it caps off at level 81, so in all reality, you should probably save them up until level 81. But saving up your points only really matters if you want the better fish out of the equation, which could equal some more money for you too as well. Now the real reason you're here, the uniques. See the uniques on screen, the pet, the tackle box, fishing barrel, and tome of water, and then the swordfish. All of those in pretty much order of importance in my opinion. The swordfish is just there for collection log hunters. The tome of water kind of goes without saying. It's the tome of fire, but it's tome of water. You get a fishing barrel to put fish in, a whole inventory worth. Tackle box will hold your fishing gear. And the pet is obviously the pet. Everyone wants that. There's also the dragon harpoon, but that's just a troll drop rate for people who are collection log completionists. I understand a 1 in 8,000 drop rate for the pet does seem pretty discouraging, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to get at least 5 points a game. So of course we gotta talk about gear setup, and one of the best things about Tempoross is all of the things that you need for this minigame are already on the boat. So just start the minigame, pick up 2 buckets, 2 ropes, 2 hammers, a harpoon, but you gotta drop this one, I don't know why, and then you can pick up the second one. And then just forfeit so you don't mess up your points for this round, and then you're ready to play the minigame. You got everything you need. And if you guys think my cheapness ends when the first game started, hell no. Once these games are done, jack some hammers, jack some harpoons, literally anything. You got all the time in the world, get it. A lot of you guys are probably like, you don't even need this shit. Why are you even taking it? Well, I'll let my good friend Dave Chappelle explain.
Why? Because f*** 'em, that's why.
No, of course, there are a couple of different options you have for things to wear, and of course the gear setup. So I figured I'd show a couple of different examples for you guys. This one right here, short, sweet, and to the point. You don't really need anything, and it's provided for you. Y'all can go ahead and think of this as like the beginner requirements, and if you didn't have any fishing gear to wear, you could just wear your graceful, because you do have to run a little bit, but not much. For the next setup, I'd go ahead and call this the intermediate setup. You got your angler's outfit, and then you also went ahead and upgraded your either hammer or harpoon to an imikando hammer, or you upgraded your harpoon to a barbtail harpoon, or even dragon or crystal harpoon. So of course, if you're keeping track, we're on the advanced setup, and that is your spirit angler's outfit. It's a rope, so you never have to take any of those anymore. You've got yourself the imikando hammer, it'll never blow away, and you've got a dragon or crystal harpoon. And for it truly to be the advanced setup, you should probably upgrade those to an infernal harpoon and a charged crystal harpoon with a signet ring. So it's a whole, 3 minutes in and we haven't even played the game yet? So let's go ahead and give that a try. So basically all you really gotta do is fish at the spots, and a lot of people like to give you a strategy where you should catch 2 lines worth and then you should go cook, but I don't really do that because I don't really find a benefit in it. I've seen people get pretty much the exact same score that I get just from doing an extra amount of effort running all over hell, and it's just a lot more opportunities for you to mess up or RNG to fail you. So just go ahead and stick around in your spot until you see the double fish spot show up, and we're gonna run on over to that. You're able to get a little bit over 3 lines worth of inventory space, and then with the double fish spot you have a chance of getting 2 fish per catch. You know, double fish spot. And then after you get your inventory full, try to at least cook a fish, maybe 2, before you actually run over to the totem. Sometimes you can get in a couple of fish before people, and a lot of people just run to the totem immediately after that double fish spot disappears, because that's the way that the game works. But we're gonna go ahead and go on back and cook our entire inventory right here, and this is one of our first periods where you could just take your hands off the wheel, you know, go grab your drink, let your dog out real quick. Nothing bad is gonna happen to you because you just had the big wave happen. So just go ahead and let it go, look at the other screen, make sure you're not dead on your main account, whatever. But you're gonna get all of these fish done and over with. And the reason why I like to have 2 extra inventory slots, like these 2 fish next to my buckets, is because most people fill up their 2 lines of inventory, and they actually end up taking care of the fire for me, since I'm like a fish behind them, and that's about it. And I'm not even behind them because I technically have 2 more fish than they actually do, and I'm right behind them. Literally, not figuratively, in the game. This part right here gives you a little bit of a breather as well, but you also have to make sure you don't get hit by the charged water torrents. And if you do, it's really easy. You just take 1 step back and you go back to loading your cannon. And hopefully you're able to get an entire inventory off before the very next wave comes, and you can start fishing a little bit of your inventory to get ready for the next phase. Because right now we're in phase 1, and once the energy goes all the way down to 0 the first time, we're going to head into phase 2, and that's when we're able to start hitting Tempoross, or taking away its life or essence. Pretty much without fail, you're going to always want to fish that double fish spot if you can, but there are a few exceptions with this spot that you probably shouldn't click on it if it appears. Let's say the energy is below 10% and you're already fishing. It's a little bit of a waste for you to run all the way over to another spot when there's so little time for you to actually have access to that spot. The end of the first phase has begun, and we start harpooning Tempoross. You get a lot of good points from this, and you want to make sure you don't miss the first harpooning of Tempoross, because this is a bulk of your points. It's almost like an entire inventory of fish. This is another one of those points where you can take your hands off the keyboard, grab a drink, and just be relaxed while you wait for Tempoross to die. Once you're done harpooning, you're gonna go ahead and run to a fishing spot. And if you were smart, you were paying attention to what the last fishing spot to pop up was, so that way you can fish for a little bit longer and you won't be interrupted. But I was lucky enough to pop up next to a double fishing spot, and that helps us out to start cooking our second inventory of cooked fish. Now, directly after a phase, you can use a double fishing spot as a timer for when a wave is about to happen. So this blue fishing spot is just about done, and a wave is now about to happen. That happens at the very first phase, and it happens at the very beginning of the second phase as well. With that foreknowledge, you should never lose your fish, and go ahead and get back to cooking. With the last fish in this inventory gone and cooked, we're gonna go ahead and run on over here. You can usually avoid that first fire, but make sure you get that second one. It's always in the way. After that, start filling up the fish cannon. You should be able to get just about your entire inventory of cooked fish before you have to go through the next wave. And I do want to go ahead and point something out. If you happen to be in a situation where you have a lot of fish on you and you're still on the boat, just do the fish. Don't go ahead and do the spirit pool the second time. It's going to be a smaller percentage. You're not going to be able to get very many points as you would have been able to if you were feeding fish. But since my inventory was empty, I went to go stab it just a couple of times for that 1 or 2 extra points that it'll add for me. And that is Tempoross all over. And we actually ended up getting 5 points for this one with 4,645 for the score. Well, that's it, everybody. You got all the information you need to be a Tempoross master. I figured I'd go ahead and give you guys a look at where I'm at. A little bit under 300 kills. I'm only missing 3 uniques, which is, of course, the harpoon, tiny tempor, the pet, and the tackle box. So there is hope for you yet. You don't have to go the full 1000 KC just to get a certain item if you're looking for it. Another cool thing about Tempoross before we go, you can actually check your total completions, which is your kill count, and your personal best or fastest completions. Or even check out just how many people have done it throughout the globe. But thanks so much for watching, you guys. I really appreciate it. If you liked it, please like, subscribe, or leave a comment for anything I could have done better in the future. But for next time, I'll see you guys later. Hey Bob, what about solo? Shit, okay, solo guide coming in the future.